Yes, indeed. What is Sven covering today? We're doing a little bit of Starfinder, checking to make sure my sound is working. Looks like we're good. Appreciate the
What the
applause there,
dog doing?
Atomic. Um, Giorgio, welcome. Uh, Parker, let's see, he is chilling over here. All right, give me just a second here. I've got to fix one thing, and then I'll show you what Parker's up to. He's chilling. Um, it's snowing. We got our first snow day and a half ago, and then got just cool enough to start melting a little bit, and then everything froze. And last night was horrendous. I've been here 13 years. I was a truck driver, um, so I'm normally not phased that much with driving in inclement weather, rain, sleet, snow, and stuff like that. Last night was pretty bad. Um, the vehicle I have is not the best, doesn't have the best tires, uh, and the roads were just horrendous. Had ended up having to go up a hill that was just ice. And there are cars, one over here in this lane, one sideways in this lane, another one stuck on the side of the road, and so that we were just trying to like worm our way through these things uphill on an ice. Um, and I'm telling you, it was divine intervention. Lord was looking out for us. We were able to get up there and get past that mess, get to where we were going. Um, I was meeting my son. Otherwise, I just would have said never mind. For probably the first time ever in my life where I've said I'm not going to drive in this. But it worked. We did it. The point is, um, Parker being older now never really liked the snow in the first place, but now he doesn't like it at all. Um, and so he tries to stay inside as much as he can. He also gets really cold, as you guys probably know. I don't see I'm looking for one other thing I'm trying to do here while I'm talking. And as long as everything's going fine, I can do both. I can talk but I don't see what I'm looking for. So it's throwing me off. It's like it should be here. What am I missing? Anyway, close enough. We'll get this going. All right. So boom, boom. Let's pull up the old split VCam X XSplit. Show you guys what Parker's doing. Gonna move the card table first. And because he was redeemed, that means I'm gonna have to interrupt him. So we'll there he is, sleeping in his giant bed. See, that's his old bed, but it's got a hole in it, and the other dog that's here keeps ripping all the stuffing out of it. So, and he barely fits in the old one. So I got him a bigger one. Didn't realize the size until it showed up in this giant box. Um, but he likes it. He seems to like it. So we're doing a little bit of Dead Suns. So we'll throw this background on there. A little bit of Dead Suns prep. Living his best life. Um, I I agree. I'm hoping that it looks like he will survive. He will last the year. Um, I I will be very surprised if he's still around by this time next year. But we'll see. We will see. And I'm not going to replace him. I'm definitely done with animals. I'm eventually hoping to have 0 pets, but we'll see. All right, be right back with Parker. All right, here he is in his little confused self because he doesn't normally chill with me um, in my lap and stuff, and I don't normally come grab him. Oh, it's blocking the visit video feed. I threw that up there to remind you guys it exists. There you go. Oh, well, that's the XSplit anyway. I'm actually down here on the bottom. There we go. Got to find me on the bottom corner there. Here we go. There's some little Parkerness. What's up, buddy? So here's Parker. Thanks to Engorgio. Doing a little redemption. He's tired. Doesn't understand what's happening. But there he is. So the storyline is pretty cool. We're going to be playing this Sunday night. So if you want to come by, gotta get my camera to behave. There we go. There's a Parker. Um, if you want to come by Sunday night, later, so you can always check it out on the Using the Tubes later on. If you miss it, or if you want to catch up and see exactly what's happening. It's social. You can, there it is. Check me out on the Using the Tubes. This is the Dawn of Flame the Dead Sons campaign. One of the best adventure paths I've ever been involved in. Just phenomenal. It starts off on a space station. New guys starting to join this organization called the Starfinders Society, and as they step off their ship in Cargo Bay 94, landing pad 94, to rush shout out to Star Wars and Han Solo, where he met Luke Skywalker. Um, their contact is across the way. He waves at them and then gets shot with a laser beam, and this gang fight takes place, and all this stuff happens. They end up going out into space to find this rock that's pulled out from hyperspace called the Drift, and come to find out it's part of this ancient society. And they go to another jungle planet and have to walk through. Exactly. Why you wake me from my nap? Um, and he's not the most comfortable here, so he may not be here for very long. But to what you get him while he's here, and while he'll chill. Um, they truck through the jungle, fighting a bunch of cool stuff, and end up past this huge statues and go to this temple and find out a little bit more information about where they're supposed to go out in the middle of this huge asteroid field called the Diaspora. Fight some pirates. I then deviated from the storyline a little bit, and they ended up going to a spa, a vacation resort that was infested with shadow creatures. They didn't know about. The shadow plane was bleeding over, so it was like a nightmare thing. That was a lot of fun. Um, then they got back on track and hunted down these cultists, and what they now start learning enough to figure out that there's this massive weapon called the Stellar Degenerator that destroys suns, and these two factions are trying to get it. One is called the Bone Fleet, which is a bunch of undead creatures that are trying to use it to take over the galaxy. And then there's the cult of the Devourer, which just wants it to watch the world and the universe burn. Um, and so our heroes are trying to prevent those two factions from getting their hands on it. Brought them out to this ancient floating city above this gas giant where they got last of the information they needed. Got sidetracked quite a bit on that gas giant city. Took off, came back over here to the Gate of the 12 Suns, and that's where they are now. They went to this controller, and the ancient society that built this weapon had a couple scientists stay behind to guard it. Realizing that they are finite creatures, they then put their essences and their life force, basically, and all their intelligence and sentience into the computers as holograms, so they could then guard it for all eternity. They've been here for several thousand years guarding it. One of them gets corrupted by by the Devourer himself, that the cult worships, and he ends up fighting the crew and helping the cultists. So the other half of the other hologram destroys one of the consoles and makes it not work, so they can't get access to the gate. So then that's when the heroes arrive, drive out the cultists, and they go get this control panel from where the cultists are getting their copy of the control panel. They now have the control panel and are coming back. The whole purpose now is to put the control panel back on, open up the gate, and destroy this weapon somehow. They just don't know how to do all those things yet. And that is where we pick up with our. So he's antsy. He's done. He's going to go back and go probably grab some water and go lay down. I'll give him a treat for putting up with being interrupted. So give me just a second. All right, so now he's left and is going to go and chill in the living room and guard us from the terrible children that walk by in the sidewalk on the sidewalk and the mailman and random pickup trucks and other menaces to his reality that he deems a threat. All right, so appreciate that, Ngojo. Thanks for using your points. So let's open up the story and check it out. So this is a pre-made. So I have an extra story here. You can see it says new story. It doesn't even have a title in it. It's just a blank story. So if you click on it, the piezo symbol or a shield in D&D, stuff like that, you can see here. So I'm going to just go ahead and delete it. Right click on it. Delete item. Are you sure? Yes. All right. So what we want to do first is, so you see here, Dead Sons 6. Empire of Bones. So we're going to open this up to the index. This is where we are. The crew just picked up a brand new member last time they played, and this new character is a Spathinae, which is a creature that is made up of thousands of moths, and they form this communal society and this single consciousness as this swarm of moths. So very unique character. All right, so let's take a look here. Here's the picture. So this is eventually what's going to happen as these as they open up the gate. This giant weapon is going to come out. The stellar degenerator is going to come out, and they had to figure out a way to destroy it. The only issue with this picture is the scale looks a little weird. This thing is miles long. This is a huge, huge weapon. The stellar degenerator is. Um, and it's a little hard to get the concept. You can see some of these smaller ships here, down through here and stuff, the smaller ships, but they're it's hard to get a full grasp of just how big this thing is. Anyways, that's what's going to be happening eventually. So as the stellar degenerator is revealed, a massive corpse fleet armada arrives. The hero must sneak onto the fleet's flagship to enact an audacious plan to destroy both the Ultranaut and the superweapon. So this ship is also more than a mile long. It's like bigger than or as big as the ship from the last Star Wars with Kylo Ren, his huge massive ship. And the point is they're going to take this massive ship and ram it into the stellar degenerator to destroy them both. That is going to be the plan eventually. Um, but they have to get in there and take over the ship from these thousands of undead that are on the ship. So it's going to be interesting. But first, boom, part one. So as I explained already, um, the PCs had defeated the sect of the Cult of the Devourer known as Desperate Hunger, placing the stellar degenerator out of the cult's reach, but they haven't won. No sooner did they open the demi-plane containing the superweapon than a corp fleet armada appeared to lay claim to the Gate of the 12 Suns. So they're actually just before that. They're just getting back. They're going to open the gate, and so in any moment now, this huge armada is going to show up. Um, so the arrival of the armada brings on the defenses, and they come back to life. Um, the corpse fleet is attacked by all these undetected capital weapons emerging from the surface of the Gate of the 12 Suns controller moons. And so there's just laser fire and cosmic gravity strings and everything. It's just going to be a huge fight going on. And then they're going to have to come up with a plan to. I'm just looking to see if there's any other pictures and stuff. I don't see any. Here we go. Oh, this is the starship itself. See if that has a picture in the back under other. Nope, it doesn't. This is the map that leads to the control center. So as they're getting ready to leave, they'll have another fight. All right, so let's go back to our story. So this is going to be happening in a couple weeks. So before we get to this part, we need to go back to the previous part 5. So we are at last gaffs or concluding the adventure. Let's see exactly which one we're at. So here's the control board. So yeah, we're doing So here's the image of it. Nice. Cool, cool, cool. That's what they were looking for. I didn't realize I had this picture. I should have showed them that earlier. But that's what all the fighting was about as they were trying to get things ready. So let's go ahead and do another quote for today. Keep things alive and going. And from Atomic Hero Squad. I remember what that was about. That was from the Coke plant I live by. Sells Coke cans for 25 cents. And I just went there today. Have another. This is from them. And it is tiny, a bit dinged. But it's basically, if they have dinged crates or 12 packs and stuff, they can't sell the 12 pack damaged. So they sell them to us for a quarter. Discount soda fun, exactly. Gone are the days when I can get them on sale and stuff for the same price. But you figure a quarter piece is $3 for a 12 pack. And so even we have a couple grocery stores that'll have like 3 for 10 or buy two get two free, but they're $7 each. So it ends up being $14 for four or $3.50 each. Um, and plus tax sometimes. So you can't beat it anymore. And Walmart changed their recipe for their I used to like their caffeine-free diet, which was surprising, even when I didn't like the caffeine-free diet stuff. My father used to drink it, and I would love their caffeine-free Sam's Choice caffeine-free diet soda. And then they changed the recipe about 2 years ago now, 2.5, and it's undrinkable now. Anyway, that's where the quote was from. Slightly dinged, tastes the same. You are correct. All right. And if anything, it tastes better because I know it's so inexpensive. Okay, so here's an map. There you go. So that's the 12 suns I was telling you about. Within this is where this will happen. I'm going to drop this on here, by the way, so I can have access to it later. This is the one planet, habitable planet. All the rest of these moons are not habitable. This is one that's covered with a jungle and has the control center for all of the 12 moons and 12 suns. Again, these are thousands of miles away from each other, if not more than that. The gravitational fields and stuff within it is just insane as each one is pulling, and as you're trying to fly your ships, you take damage and things as you fly your ships through there. Have to be make really good piloting rolls. So this is what we're dealing with. Um, so they have the control board. They would go back to the gate one, which they did. Um, so now they're talking about how are they going to destroy it. There's some. So she's thinking that maybe you could. Her idea is to take this stellar degenerator thing here and pilot it into one of the suns. But somebody has to be on it to do it. So in other words, it's a suicide mission, but it will work. And so um, she also doesn't know what will happen to the whole system when you have something of this size going into a sun and being destroyed. All right, so she tells them, so when you click this speech bubble in your storyline, it adds it to the chat. And that's what they see here. So it's Osteth speaking, and it's a speech bubble. Um, so she says something is terribly wrong. Thanks to the age of these gates, thousands of years, several microprocessors across the controls moons are failing. I've already initiated the subroutine to open the plane. My calculations predict that unless something is done in the next few minutes, a catastrophic chain reaction will destabilize the system's 12 cosmic strings and cause each and every one of the suns to be pulled into the center of the system, resulting in a massive supernova. But, she says, if I split my consciousness across the 12 moons, my own programming could provide the necessary corrections for our plan to proceed. But it will be the end of me permanently. This is the only choice. The rest is up to you. You must promise to destroy it, no matter what happens. And then she dissolves into a line of code and goes away. Yeah, so the 500,000 miles, the opening to the stellar degenerator demiplane has a diameter of 500,000 miles. So that's what this is. This is 500,000 miles. So it's a little hard, like I said, it's hard to get the scope. All right. Oh, okay. So that's it for that. That's opening the gate. So now we need to go to part 4, which is here. Concluding the adventure. All right. Warning lights blinking finally across the things. The automated defense systems have activated a fleet of starships. Um, so I'm missing. This is the end of it. Okay. The superpower weapon is over 100,000 feet long, has a mass of over 50,000 tons. Okay, so let me look at the book because I'm missing something here. So here are the books, see? And so the very end of this, I'm missing the last, it's only probably a couple paragraphs. Let's see. So this thing starts coming out. So that's how it ends. Okay. So then it must start with the creatures, the people showing up. Okay. Let's see here. Here it is. All right. So what happens is these creatures. So the it says event one. So yeah. So this is it. That's it for them. They don't actually see. That's not really clear the timing of the ships, the Armada. So we're just gonna sort of seamlessly flow into this because it's not here. It doesn't say anything about the corpse fleet showing up um, here in in the last part of this book. So it says the PCs won't have much breathing room after she sacrifices herself to open the gate, as warning lights begin blinking frantically across the central room. They have detected a fleet of starships entering the area, an armada of Eoxian-style vessels ranging from speedy fighters to lumbering capital ships are a few hours away. The corpse fleet has tracked them and are ready to claim the facility generator. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is. It's just two sentences. So, um, let's go back to the story. Here's the story of a group of Starfinders. Okay, it doesn't work, but that's all right. All right, here it is. So they're within the control center. They get an idea of the chaos that waits them outside. Um, they can check, tell them that they're Eoxian. Um, they're accompanied by a flagship that is at least 6 miles long, larger than any starship they have ever seen. All right, so this is what it comes down to. Even if the PC's immediate reaction is to hide, seek a better tactical position, or try to come up with another plan, they will have to go back to their starship sooner or later. Core fleet troops are waiting for them there, and may even assault the controller's control center. All right, so um, they determine they've been tracked, and they left the sepulcher has cleared a separate landing spot on the jungle a few hundred feet away, and the Marines have disembarked. Okay. The Marines attempt to create a ambush of their own. So this is the forest path map they're using. I actually like the other one better. So let's go to images. Let's see, it's actually here. No, that is the control center, yes, but the map I'm looking for is this one. So this one is very similar to this, but it has the landing pad down here and this forest path is just a crop of this one. Right now they're in the middle of a fight with this insane creature thing, unexpected bony bunch. Yeah, exactly. All right. So what I'm doing then is I'm going to set up this encounter. Um, so their ship is here. Right now they're going into the control center. When they come out of the control center, come back down, is where they'll have this encounter. So we're going to go ahead and do this. So this one is already placed out. So we're going to unplace them. And set them here. So I'm going to put them in the jungle. Let's see, I could build a landing pad as well. Let's see. What kind of images do I have for, let's see. Go with pad. Here we go. So I have a landing pad. Oh, that's just a picture. Here's an image of the landing pad. Okay. Let's go to my assets and see what kind of all images. And we're going to go with pads and see what kind of landing pad stuff we have here. Same thing, data pad, padlock, wooden paddle. Okay. So nothing here to help incorporate the two maps or add a landing pad onto the other end of this. I honestly don't think it's going to be that worth it. So I'm just going to set them in the jungle. So they aren't actually on the landing pad. They're just going to be attacking them as they're coming down the path to their ship. So here's this. Let's open this up, zoom in a bit so I can see a little bit more of where they're going. They're going to be coming down the path. So we're going to have these Marines. Let's see what they do. So if you're looking at the encounter, I'm first of all going to pin it. So I grab the piezo symbol and drop it over here. So now I have this encounter and I can open it from this map. Then I open up this to look at the creature. So they have acid dart rifles, flash grenades. They have a pulse gauntlet, which knocks people down on a critical. They are immune. They take some magic. They take less magic damage than normal. Of course, they have the undead immunities. They have sharpshooter. All right, so I don't know what focus fire does. It says when you make a full attack, you can take a -3 instead of a -4. Okay, good. Okay, that's fine. Sniper's aim, dark vision. All right. So they're going to be set up with a view of right here. This is going to be the target zone. So we're going to set them up. They're all going to be in here, hidden in these trees. And as soon as they come into this area, they're just going to open fire. And they're just going to sit there and just pelt them with all these shots. I want to move one down here. They've got the range. They've got the range. Let's move him there. All right, so as they come into this area like they are now, I can just sit there and pound them. Um, I would put one here, but the odds of them walking right by him within 10 feet of him and not being seen are very, very slim because they don't have any kind of invisibility. They don't have any kind of anything beyond stealth, and they aren't even trained in stealth. So yeah, we're just gonna leave them the way they are. This one is at least deep within other things. All right, so now as you close this, they will go away, and when you need to get ready for this combat, you then just add them here. Add encounter to combat tracker, and it'll populate the map with them. They will be hidden automatically. See, so they're gone. Um, so there we go. We are all set. And they will fight to the death. All right, so that was it. That's my main thought. My main point today was to figure out exactly how they get from where they are now, returning the control panel, which I found a picture of and I'm happy. Yay, good control board. To um, getting onto the ship. So after this fight, they get to their ship and then they're going to determine that they're going to have to go to the big giant. So you've got all this. See, now this one you'll notice is not a. That's the difference between the two. So one is a speech bubble with a title saying who's saying it. The other one is just flat information. So that is how you pin an encounter on there, how you prepare for the encounter. The encounter they're in right now is this creature. They're fighting this puppy. Get him back up. Just a big giant creature. Um, go. Boom. I'm curious to see what level they're supposed to be. I think I already leveled them up to the last where they're supposed to be. Um, here it is. Start this adventure at 11th level. So that's what they are now. So they go to party sheet up here in the top here. Yes, they are all 11th level except for our new person who will. This fight will get them up to 9. If they get with me beforehand, then I do fights with them, and every time they do a fight, we level them up. Uh, I've done this even with experienced players. I do this with my D&D games as well. If they're jumping into a campaign that's higher than level 1, I start them at level 1. And then every time they have a fight, they level up until they catch up with the rest of the group. Um, and I've found that I've never said, this was silly. I shouldn't have done this. I've always been pleased with doing it that way because it then gives them a little chance to grow into their characters instead of just jumping in with a level 10 character. It lets them um, grow into it, learn a little bit more about them and stuff. It's a win for the players too. Yes, very much so. It's just mostly for the player. Um, helps me as a game master to learn a little bit more about the characters, but it also helps them learn about the character. Especially Starfinder, you have so many things. You have feats and you have abilities. Uh, just if you look at these things, you look at um, their abilities page. All of these are different things they can do. Feats are different things they can do. These themed abilities, racial traits. All of these are different activities or bonuses that they get for doing different things or actual things they can do. And then when you go to your actions page, you've got your normal, like similar to D&D, you got your weapons, but then you've got all these things they can do down here. And this guy is a soldier, so he has no spells. He has nothing that he special besides soldier stuff. And this is still all the different things they can do. And he's level 8. He still has 3 levels to go, so he's still going to have even more. So absolutely, I think it's a phenomenal, huge benefit for them to come in and slowly, at least they've done, like I said, they've at least done, you know, this person has done 7 fights, and by the time they get to 11, they'll have done 11 fights. So at least they'll have an idea of what to do and how to work it. And sometimes they'll tweak it on and they'll realize, you know what, I picked this thing, it's just not working. Whereas the other players have been playing, you know, almost since day one with the same character, and so they've been, years literally. And now that we're on level 11, we've been doing this campaign for years, uh, so they've learned long and slow. Anyway, so he's level 8. He'll be up to level 9. This is the cool one that gets to. He's a bug made out of the massive swarm of bugs. All right, so we're good to go. So they're going to have to then figure out that they want to take over the big ship and see what here's a space map. I have several other space maps that I'll probably use instead of this one. So there's we'll take a look at this real quick. So this one, there's 4 ships. Nice. So let's go to the images and we'll go to map. To map it to map it to map. All right, so battle maps. Looking at all the different maps, here we go. I have a set of maps. It's funny, these are all different space maps, and they're exactly the same. All these maps are space. He's not, obviously. Space. They're all the same space map. Close, close, close. All right, so this is the space map package that I was talking about. Star Battles Space Map Pack. So we'll go up here to here and go to Star Battles Space Map Pack. What? Oh, I still have a map. That's why. Boom. Okay, so that's stupid. Anyway, square maps. There we go. This is the one I was talking about. So these are the different maps that I have for space fights. I might do this one just because it's the Gate of the 12 Suns. So again, these are just backdrops for Purple Nebula. Is pretty cool. A ring world. Rocky ring. So I'm going to kill these ones that don't fit into this particular situation. Saturn. Starfield. Station. sun, moon, rise, and thin ring. So those are the different maps that I have. I'm probably going to use, I like this one. This one, I think we can go with this one. There are 12 suns, so there's got to be some sort of sunrise and stuff. This is the one they gave us. You can see. You can also add clouds, so I could add purple clouds to just the plain space one I had and have them move them. I can also put a texture behind it so it looks a little different, stuff like that. So this one I'm going to go ahead and put this guy, unlock it, take this map. I'm going to leave this one in there, but I'm going to add this to it. Boink. And then we're going to go ahead and change the, actually, let me go back to my maps. It says square grid. I think there's also the hex grids with the same thing. So let's see. Square maps, hex maps. Yeah, these are the same ones. So this is the one I want. I want the sun. Nope. I want the brilliant sunrise. That was it right here. So I've used this one already, by the way. I cut off part of it. So you couldn't see the whole thing. And brilliant sunrise is the one I want. So take this. Just make this backspace control 1. Makes the text regular text instead of a link. And then I can just add this brilliant sunrise hex map back in there. All right, so when I'm ready to do this, there you go. I can zoom in a little bit. Nice long grid, nice wide space. And then what I can do is I'll just add the ships. Isn't there an encounter? Let's see. There's a story. Starship combat. It's just general starship combat. Nope. Okay. It doesn't have an encounter. Let's see. Can I build an encounter with ships? I thought you could. Let's see. Let's find out, shall we? This is 2.0.4. Boarding actions. Shadowy menace. Nope. All right, so let's go right click to add a new one on the bottom. And we're going to make it 2.04.01. We're going to say sunrise, fight, and we're going to go into here to Dead Suns Part 6, Empire Bones. All right, so now first of all, let's just see if we can do it. Crypt, then we're going to take this. Where'd it go? There it is. All right, try this again. Take our Crypt Warden, open him up. See, can we drop him into here? It does not. Okay, that's why. All right, never mind. Never you mind. So I can't set it up. I can put the tokens on there though. So let's go ahead and put, no, I can't. Let's see, we'll go to the ship combat tracker. There we go, some Rico Nash. And then we will add these guys onto here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, you go to the ship combat tracker, you just grab the piezo symbol for the ship and drag it into the combat tracker. And then from the combat tracker, you can then add it to the map. So we're going to add these guys here. Going to be in a little wing formation. One, that was 16, right? 16, okay. 1, 2, 3. I don't know why they're both labeled 11. I'm going to make him 7 or 6. There we go. 6 and 4. Boom. So they're in a little formation, a box formation. And the ship's PC ship will be over here, and they'll come in and fight them. On the Mariko Nash, there's also PC ships. There's also Fievel's Bite. There we go. He does not have any damage. Okay. So I will want to boost them up a little bit as well. Boost up the ships, give them a little extra oomph. As you can see, these are 170 hull points each, whereas the Mariko Nash only has 75. They have insane amounts of armor though, whereas these guys do not. Let's see, they have shields. They have 100 shields. Yeah. So our crew, the Mariko Nash, is slightly different in that it has um, a plate of armor and a fortified hull, and the armor and deflector shields. So the deflector shield regenerates. So basically, instead of it never goes away. Basically, it sits there. So a normal shield is like the ones in Star Trek. You beat them down, do enough damage to them, and then they're depleted and they're gone. The deflective shield, the weapon hits the deflective shield and is deflected. So, if they do enough damage to get through it, then it goes through, damages the hull. But the shield is still there. And so it's just a matter of getting through this deflective shield enough to damage the ship, but it stays there. It keeps deflecting the 15 points or 20 points or whatever it might be at the time. So this is a tier 10 ship. These are tier 6 ships. I might just make it 3. Just one to save time and everything else. Yeah, let's do that. What's the last one? 10. 10. So we're going to kill him. Boom. We're just going to say there's 3 of them. Fievel's Bite is tier 3. Yeah, so we'll need to boost him up a little bit. Can I? Yep. I'm going to put him at tier 6, 7. Tier 7 just to make it round. So it gives him more BP, so we can now add some more shields and armor. Let's go to ships. So we're increasing Fievel's Bite. Notes. So here's Fievel's Bite. I'm going to change this here to unlock it. Come on. Oh, it's read only. We can't do it. That's why. Why it wasn't already renamed. So this is the ship we're working on. It's Fievel's fighter ship. It's a tiny fighter. If we go here to ship items, we're going to start with the weapons. All right, so right now it has PCU of Starship. Right now it only has 87 out of the 150 that could be used for the power core. So let's go ahead and get this weapons tactical. So it's a light plasma cannon. All right, so the light plasma cannon. Oh, this is for capital ships. So we don't want capital ships. We want heavy weapon. Oh, page 104. Okay, that's why. Here we go. Light. All right, so light buster cannon. All right, so I'm looking here to see. I want to upgrade. He has a flak thrower, which will protect him, and then he has a forward-facing light plasma cannon, and one other spot that we can put on the forward. So we can put two things in a forward spot. So we have a magic torpedo unit. That would be cool. Gives him a broad arc, so that means he could, instead of just facing forward, he could be a little bit to the side. This is a tracking category though, so let's see. Melee direct fire. So with direct fire, here we go. Light plasma cannon does 2d12. So that's pretty dang insane. Not going to be able to get much higher than that. Besides, there's 3d10, but that's an orbital special property. We have a ramming prow, so he can slam into things. Um, let's see what this EMP cannon can do. Why doesn't it tell us what the EMP does? EMP is a special property. Okay. All right. So I think I'm just going to give him a double laser cannons, light plasma cannon. So we'll drop this over here. Forward. Okay. So he's got two light plasma cannons doing 2d12. So he can do 4d12 if he hits both. Let's give him better shields and stuff. He's got a +3 to any check. He's got piling mod of +1. His AC is 30. His TL is 24. All right, so let's go back here to his main thing. We want to get, so right now he's using 97 out of 150. We want to get his armor up if we can. So we'll close down the weapons. And let's go to armor. Type in armor. What? Oh, starship weapon. That's why I was having problems, because it's not, that's weird. All right, armor. So this is Mark 8. So let's go to Mark 10. Let's see, that is, all right, so let's go ahead and put the Mark 10 on there. Boom. All right, so that gives him 32 and 23. Okay. And let's increase the shields, shall we? Shields. So instead of 60, let's get him up to 80. Well, let's put him at 100. 100 shields so he can survive for a minute at least. There we go. So now we go back to tactical. Okay, 25 all around. Good. Alright, so it puts him at 107 out of 150. He can get higher shields. So let's see. Let's give him 140 shields and see what happens. Puts him at 117. His BP is only 111. I'm going to boost his shields to like crazy. Let's put him at 160. It's an insane amount of shields for a fighter, but his current BP's build points is fine. So let's get that armor up then. Just give him, oops, that's shields, wrong one. Armor, here we go. So let's give him, he's at 10. Let's put him up to 14. See what happens. So he's still within his BP, he's still within his power core. And that puts him at 36 and 22. Alright, so I think he's good. So he's got 2 plasma cannons, he's got, let's give him better defenses. Let's see. Defense. Right now he has 3, so let's put him up to 7. That puts him at 142 and puts him at 127, so he's good. Makes it harder for, change the chip's TL, so his TL is now 26, okay. And that's good. Let's see, can we get him up to Mark 10? 133, 155. Puts him up to 29 target lock. All right, so we're good. So it gives him Fievel's bite is a little bit more punch. We'll go to Mariko Nash. All right, so they have, what just happened? Why is that gone? I don't know what I did. All right, so we're just boosting up the Mariko Nash. Their tiers, they should be tier 11. So they have 310. They only have 270. They still have some PCU left. Thrusters are good. The signal boosters okay. Drift range. All right, so they're light ablative armor, fortified hull, heavy deflector shields. So the ablative armor is grants temporary hull points to each quadrant. Okay. All right, so let's see. Tactical. Ablative armor. All right, so that's, let's go to ablative armor and see. Ablate. Where is it from? What book is this from? Because I don't see it here. Am I spelling it wrong? No, I'm not. Let's go to armor. Oh, that's why this stuff is here. Okay, never mind. Go all the way up. Ooh, there's that blade of armor. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So we have light abrasive armor. Let's go with medium, and we'll say could we go up to 140. All right, so it makes them slower, but they're still within their range of BPs and stuff, so that's fine. And let's go to armor. So we want them to have 10. That gave us a lot. All right, so let's go back down to 8. Okay, that gives us a little bit more room. Our propulsion is average now, good. So what about the deflector shields? Let's see. Shields. Okay, never mind. So we'll go here, we'll go to nothing, and we'll go to deflect. Deflector shields. Here we go. Heavy deflector shield. What do you have right now? You have heavy deflector shield 15. So we can get superior to 18. Let's see. There we go. That works. So now over to tactical. Yep, we've got good stuff here. All right, so we've got some cool weapons. Weapons. We don't want capital ships. We want such a thing as medium spinal. No, that's it. All right, so let's go back. Just looking at the weapons, see what's going to work for them. What they've got now and what's better. So right now they have a light. There's a heavy buster cannon, which is 68. Is there a medium? Let's type buster. No, there's a light, heavy, and superior. Okay. All right, so let's go with plasma. Right now they have a light plasma cannon. Just 2d12. You give them a light cytoplasm launcher, which they can only fire 5 times, but that's 48, whereas this one does 2d12. So that's 4 to 36, no 32. This is 2 to 24. All right, and then they have teleportation beam, particle beam, particle beam, particle beam, doing the things particle can. All right, so let's see what the particle does. This is a light particle beam, 3d6, so it does 3 to 18. The other one is 2 to 24. I'm gonna leave it at 3 to 6, 3d6. That's best. All right, so I think they're good. I mean, they've got everything they need right now. Boosted their armor, boosted their deflector shields, boosted their ablative armor as well. What does the fortified hull do? The CT threshold. Okay. to medium creature, so 3. Nanocarbon plate. So it gives them a +9 CT bonus. Nice. All right, so their CT bonus then is, it would normally be 75 divided by 4. Yeah, 24. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Okay, good. All right, so we are golden. I like this. I like their odds. They're doing better. They've got more stuff. They've got more defenses. So they're going to be going up against. So yeah, they only have 75 hit points, but they have to get through all this armor and all the deflective shields to get to them. Meanwhile, they're pounding out and doing all this damage. These guys do, yeah, they do 1d8. They have a laser net and a plasma cannon, so they have to stay away from them. So they can have heavy armors. Okay, never mind. I didn't realize they could have heavy weapons. So let's go ahead and switch, give them some heavy weapons, shall we? On their turret is a particle beam. Here we go. So we'll go to heavy. We'll go to 8d6. Wonder if the particle beam can be on. This says direct fire. Let's see. Okay. So let's go with, let's try this again. Particle beam. Where's the forward? Forward. All right. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this. Clear weapon slot. Okay. Heavy regular particle beam. All right. Am I missing something? What does it say? I think there's something popping up here. Okay. Cannot add. Move. No available slots for weapon. Yeah, there is right here. It's a turret. Okay, so let's go here to the light buster cannon. Clear the weapon slot and particle beam. Why isn't it letting me do it? It let me do it on the last one. Upgrade weapon slot. Ah, that's why. Okay. Upgrade weapon slot. Okay, now we'll do a heavy weapon. Gotcha. Into the turret. Yep. Okay, so we have a particle beam in the front, and then the other one was a plasma. So let's do plasma. All right, so a heavy direct fire plasma cannon be in the front. Forward. Okay, so how are we doing overall? All right, so we have more PCU than we can use. So we need to upgrade the power core. We have 10 left, so we should be able to do it. Let's go to power. Nope, it's not a weapon. No, what am I missing here? Subtype, power core. There we go. All right, so we have a pulse prismatic. All right, so I'm going to go to My good friends online, go to here, Archives of Nithis, so they can give me the starships. Power core. There we go. All right, here it is. So right now we have the pulse prismatic. Um, can you separate? Can you? Yes. Okay. So the pulse prismatic is 300. Like crap. So the next one is 400, and that is the gateway heavy. Um, and that's only for large, huge, and gargantuan. So the 300 pulse prismatic, that's the only one you can have? Wow, okay. Huge ships can have up to 2 power cores, gargantuan ships can have up to 3, and colossal can have up to 4. Oh, it says medium and large starships can be fitted with an extra power core housing if you buy an expansion bay. Okay, so let's check it out and see what we've got. I don't know if it's really necessary, but let's see. This is a medium. So where is the bays? Let's see. Expansion bays, okay. All right, so we have the core, the cargo hold, the escape pods, the ghost drive, a recreation sweep, and a smuggler's compartment. All right, so 300 is the max PC you can have. Let's go back to defenses, and let's check out, see if that affects the. All right, now they have Mark 5, so if we jump them up to Mark 8, it does change the CP, PCU being used. Okay, so let's go to the ablative armor and change that from 140 down to 120. That does not change anything then. Okay, so we'll go back to 140. Oh, it's 1 BP difference, so that's fine. Okay, so we need to medium ablative armor. Um, let's go back to defenses, defense. Put him at 7. Put the Mark 7 armor. Bring that down a little bit. All right, so now we just need to bring down the Spirit Deflective Shield. Okay, so now we just need to go back to Tactical and bring these down. All right, so having these creatures, I mean these heavy weapons, is just uses up too much BP and too much CPU. So go back to weapons. And let's see. So there's the ship I'm working on now, by the way. This one currently is the one we're working on now. All right, so the weapons, let's bring these down then. So let's go to, so I have the heavy plasma cannon, the heavy particle beam, turret, and forward. And then the port and starboard and aft. All right, so I'm going to I'll leave the turret and go to the forward. Let's see. Plasma. All right, so the PCU and the cost. So the the regular plasma cannon is 30 and 20. Oh, yeah, that's the huge difference. That's the difference. This one is 10 and 12. All right, so let's go ahead and change this back to the light plasma cannon in the front. Clear it out. Downgrade it to a light plasma cannon. Okay, why is this wrong? Did it not take off the weapons? All right, go back to our tactical. 2 cannons. Particle beam. What is this? The Starship frame. Okay. It has 4 expansion bays, so I don't know why it's telling me it's 0. It's annoying. See, it says 5, 0. Okay. All right, so that puts my PCU use correct. Um, all right, so let's go back to the deflector shield and see deflector shields 18. So if we go back down to 15, let's see how much difference that is. There we go. All right, so that's enough. Well, that was 45. It shouldn't have been that much of a difference, though, but whatever. Okay, cool. So we are set and ready to go. Both of them. So it's underneath the PCU computer usage. It's underneath the build points. So we're ready for our ship combat. We're ready for our hand-to-hand combat. It is 3 o'clock. Cool, guys. Well, hey, thanks for hanging out with me. If anybody's still around, hello, welcome. Do a little bit of quote action. All right. Um, I do remember the context of that one too. Very cool. So thanks for hanging out with me. Went over a little bit of how to deal with the starships, how to build them, how to upgrade them and stuff. Um, Starship combat, I like it's a lot of fun for me. Uh, a lot of people hate it. They don't like it at all. Uh, but we're set and ready to go. Thank you, Zinlu, for hanging out and lurking. I appreciate you. Tell Shaya I said hi and miss playing City Heroes with her. I'm gonna go ahead and head off. I've got a couple of things to do, and then I'm gonna mess around. Probably do some not Solasta. Some Neverwinter Nights. Maybe some Solasta. Who knows? Um, maybe go back into Magic the Gathering. Maybe just mess around my phone. Who knows? I have yet to decide. I actually have like an hour where I can just do whatever I want. So I'm not used to that. So it's fun. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Uh, I appreciate you guys very much. And don't forget to like, subscribe, all the happiness, whatever else you do. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you guys tomorrow night. I mean Thursday night when I stream D&D. I might also be doing some more of this um, Fancy Grounds prep uh, or some other streaming on Thursday too. So we'll see. Talk to you later, guys. Bye.